The unanimous jury has found Ghislaine Maxwell guilty of one of the worst crimes imaginable, facilitating and participating in the sexual abuse of children.
The wider world knew her as a wealthy heiress, socialite and girlfriend of billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein. But Epstein's many victims saw a very different side of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Maxwell was among Epstein's closest associates and helped him exploit girls who were as young as 14 years old. Maxwell would encourage these young girls to accept offers from Epstein to pay for their travel and their education, making these young victims feel indebted. Maxwell then tried to normalize sexual abuse with a minor victim through a process known as grooming.
She touches me around my chest, but blurring the boundaries of normal or not normal. Maxwell was a really important part of the grooming process, and they worked together as a team, I think.
For years, the pair's extraordinary wealth and connections enabled their crimes and silenced their victims.
This fear that was ingrained in them that they could be destroyed, their lives could be ended, their families could be destroyed, their reputations, their futures could be destroyed.
For the four survivors who testified against Maxwell, it was a grueling process.
It takes extraordinary courage to be cross-examined for hour after hour about every detail of your life, about the most humiliating aspects of your life.
Their courage and willingness to face their abuser made today's result and this case possible.
But the verdict was far from a formality. Jurors deliberating across 6 days before finding Maxwell guilty on 5 counts of grooming and sex trafficking.
Within moments of hearing guilty, she sort of took a deep breath and looked as though she was pouring herself some water.
Maxwell now faces up to 65 years in prison.
We have already started working on the appeal, and we are confident that she will be vindicated.
The legal process far from over.
There's still a lot of women who are living in the shadows who probably have more stories about more people who helped Jeffrey Epstein recruit and sexually abuse young women. This story is not over. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's just the beginning.
Well, attorney Gloria Allred represents a number of Epstein's accusers. She joins us now. Gloria, I'm sure that for the victims, justice felt like it was a very long time coming. What does today mean for them?
It means that it was worth it. The fact that they were brave, the fact that they fought through their fear and their pain to recount to law enforcement what happened to them, to know that they would be supported. They're not going to be alone in all this, and they did nothing wrong. And when they found the strength and courage to participate in the justice system, that they were rewarded because they were believed, despite the vigorous cross-examination, which attempted to undermine and discredit their testimony, because they received compensation from the Epstein Compensation Victims Fund. They did it for the cause of justice, and they were so brave, and I'm just so proud of all of them.
The defence also tried to really distance Maxwell from Epstein and his crimes, but the jurors didn't buy that. Why not?
Well, the jury did not buy that she was just a substitute for the empty chair for the fact that Jeffrey Epstein was not being tried, because, you know, she engaged in her own criminal conduct. One of the most serious counts for which she was convicted was conspiracy to sex traffic underage girls for sexual purposes. And that's what she did. And that's what the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt showed. It's a message. If you assist a sexual predator to sex traffic minors, you yourself may face prison for potentially the rest of your life. Some of them may be afraid to come forward because they're afraid of being blamed or shamed, or maybe they even blame themselves. But we need to support victims and educate victims to know it's not their fault. They're vulnerable when they're underage, and they're taken advantage by adults who know better.
And there's a huge cast of very high-profile men implicated in these crimes. How do survivors feel about the fact that the only person to be convicted at this stage is a woman?
She had her own role to play. I mean, she benefited from the luxurious lifestyle, and, you know, she helped to normalize the environment, the fact that a woman was there, an older woman, and now she has to face the consequences of her conduct. This is legal reckoning that's happening now. Many of the predators thought they were powerful, they were rich, they were famous, they could do whatever they want, whenever they wanted, to whomever they want. But his pattern of sexual misconduct was revealed for what it was, and Ms. Maxwell's pattern of sexual misconduct in terms of helping to assist this sexual predator was certainly revealed by the evidence as well.
Gloria Allred, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.